Coming up on the Sports Desk, the new kids on the block shake up the Pioneer League soccer standings. Will the torch be passed to a new leader in either the boys or girls races? Not if the Tartars have anything to do with it. The Lady Tartars are regulars at the top of their league standings. Now, the boys jump into the convo as a high-ranking, emerging powerhouse. And at Elko, the Warriors are a top 10 team to be reckoned with. Somebody's going to have a last-second winner. The Warriors, well, they either just pulled off another big win or are about to have their hearts broken. All that plus more scores and updates from Torrance's sports scene. The Sports Desk starts right now. How's it going, Torrance? Great to see you as always. Welcome to a new week on the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Juan Hernandez. We're going to start this week off with one of the many heated league chases around Torrance. West, South, North, and Torrance soccer all entering the Pioneer League season in the top 10 rankings of the Daily Breeze. But, of course, there's only one spot in true first place. South is the defending CIF Southern Section champs and winners of about every Pioneer League championship or co-championship for the last decade or so now. West, the league newcomer after last year's Bay League championship and a CIF Southern Section playoffs semifinals appearance. That's a little tongue twister for you. And then there's Torrance, the only Pioneer team to beat a Powerhouse South program in a league game over the past 5 years. This season, 7 of their 10 non-league games were against a fellow Daily Breeze top 10 team. They made it through that stretch, suffering just one loss, their only loss of the season, heading into Pioneer League games as the hottest team in Torrance and the top ranking awarded from the Daily Breeze. But no preseason run will win a league championship, so the Tartars' opening 2-1 win over South suddenly made them the league favorite, while putting South in an early season do-or-die scenario with the West Warriors visiting for a league game of their own. South looking to bounce back after that loss to Torrance. Start of the game, Olympia Katsouridis squeezes by the defense and just drops one over the goalkeeper. South leads this one right out the gate, 1-0. Later in the first now, West going to come off of the free kick here. Ball floats into a scrum right in front of the net. West's Caitlin Fergulia is right in there. She finishes it off. The ball finds its way into the net. We're tied at 1 now. Off to the second half. The Warriors fighting for possession, and the refs are going to call a penalty on that one. South does not like it at all, and they let everybody know about it. So on the ensuing free kick, ball sails just over the net. On to the 74th minute now, still tied at 1. Kaylin Camerly going to put up a little lob shot right off the crossbar. And we're still tied at 1 at the end of regulation, so this one's going to OT. 2 overtime periods later, time running out on both teams. Jenna Hernandez. Oh, off the crossbar. And South clears it. Take another look. Hernandez from downtown. It doesn't get much closer than that. This one's going to end in a 1-1 tie. So West nearly misses their chance to top South. They settle for the double OT draw February 6th, 2009. That was the last time South suffered a loss against a Pioneer League team other than Torrance when they visited El Segundo. In that stretch, South and Torrance have played in 11 league games to a dead split, each winning 4, with 3 contests playing to draws. So how did the top-ranked Tartars do while letting South and West duke it out for second place? Well, after the Tartars' 2 wins over Lusinger and South in week 1 of league, they face off against another top 10 team, the North Saxons. 5-2 the final in that one. In the 4 games following their first and only loss of the season to Peninsula, the Tartars have outscored their opponents 16-4. And their run against tough teams doesn't slow down with league in full swing. 6 of their 10 league games will have been against 3 of the Daily Breeze's top 10 by season's end, making it a total of 13 of their 21 regular season games against the South Bay's best squads. And while we're on the subject of top 10 teams, the Bishop Montgomery girls have been keeping with the trend of turning heads this season right here in the South Bay. Winners of 6 games between December 29th and January 20th, and handing South Torrance one of their 5 losses thus far. The Knights have vastly improved on 2014's 11-10 season, but as the Knights move deep into Del Rey League competition, things have been slowing down. They lose possession of first place with a 4-0 loss to Bishop Amat. Natalie D'Angelo has 2 scoring opportunities, but the Knights get blanked on the road. They'll have another chance to catch up with Bishop Amat the second week of February now. And on the pitch for the boys, the Pioneer League's 4 Torrance teams make the cut in the top 10 South Bay squads yet again. In fact, Centennial is the only Pioneer League team not ranked as teams head into their second week of league, with the Olympians holding down a tie for the 10th and final spot with North Torrance. Standings aren't settled by rankings, though. They're settled on the pitch. West opens up league with a win over Centennial, taking an early first-place lead over the field. Meanwhile, the Torrance Tartars have sat through a slow and steady rebuild over most of the past decade. In 2007, the Tartars finished with 7 wins, no losses, and 5 ties against the Pioneer League, winning the league crown and a first-round game. That season was followed by a slew of finishes at or near the bottom of the league standings, leading up to their first winning season in that stretch just last year. They finished no higher than 3rd place during that span, but this season, things are a bit different on the pitch at Torrance High. The Sports Desk newest reporter, Kiana Martin, has that story.
Torrance High's boys soccer team has kicked off its Pioneer League season and hosted the North Torrance Saxons in a cross-city battle. Despite some injuries to some key players, the Tartars managed to pull out a 4-2 win against the Saxons.
I feel good. We played poorly the first half, and we're down some guys. And these guys really picked it up second half and played really well and pulled out the game.
Turning around from last season, ending with a 12-9 record, the Tartars fell short in the playoffs, losing the first-round matchup to Santa Paula 2-1. With another tacked-on division win against the Saxons, the Tartars are currently tied for second in the Pioneer League. The Daily Breeze names Torrance High's soccer team as one of the top 10 teams out of the South Bay area. Head coach Ryan Burnett has high expectations for his team and hopes to exceed last year's shortcomings.
Well, goals this year were to win league. Right now we're on a good track. I just want the guys to take it game by game and do the best they can.
The league win over North pushed the Tartars to 3-0 against Pioneer teams, more importantly, keeping the pace in a competitive league. The Tartars are currently ranked 102 spots ahead of their California ranking last season.
So the Tartars top North 4-2, and then they're going to suffer their first loss since the day after Christmas when Centennial blanks them. It puts the Tartars in a corner heading into their league matchup with first place West, another battle of top 10 teams right inside Torrance. Now, 2015 is filled with solid soccer squads top to bottom. The Pioneer League race looking like it will come down to the wire. More on that next week. All right, everybody, we are going to head out to a break. When we come back, we're going to go to the hardwood after this. More South Bay rankings, this time in Torrance Hoops. This town gets another top ranking. Find out which team that is after the break.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Hi, welcome back. When it comes to Bishop Montgomery hoops, there's been a total of one storyline and not much else to report this season. One non-league loss and a bunch of boat race wins the rest of the way. In January of 2014, Bishop had again entered the last 10 days of the month with just one loss before dropping 3 of 5 from January 20th through the start of February. This year, however, the Knights rolled through the beginning of that same stretch that haunted them last year, impressive enough to snag the Daily Breeze's top spot in their South Bay Hoops power ranking. Their first 3 Del Rey League games are all winners, extending Bishop's win streak into double digits and raising the total to 12 in a row before meeting league rival Sarah. The Knights won their non-league tourney matchup against Sarah back before Christmas by 21 at the Mission Prep Holiday Classic. Torrance's other powerhouse team in the new year comes from North High, where the Lady Saxons are getting their fair share of love in the rankings, taking care of business in the standings as well. After the Saxons repaid the West Warriors for last year's CIF semifinals loss in the first week of league, they stay hot with back-to-back wins over Torrance and Centennial. It sets up another huge matchup for North, visiting second place South High. West was able to bounce back after their loss to North, taking down the Spartans by a huge margin, just the second loss of the month for Sparty, but South still sits in solid position, just one game back from the league lead. Earlier in the week, West knocked off Centennial by 53 points, so hopefully, for the sake of a good story, the loss to North High that welcomed them to the Pioneer League woke up a sleeping giant, and we end up with something huge on the line in their next matchup. Of course, we keep bringing you back to those newly released rankings today. North did get the Breeze's nod after beating West to open up league, but the Warriors stay right behind them with the number 3 spot by beating their next 2 opponents by a combined 84 points. And not too far down that rankings list sit the Bishop Montgomery Knights. The defending CIF champs celebrated 2 big milestones in what's been a back-and-forth season. In a loss to rival Sarah, senior Chelsea Leidy put herself in the record books with her 1,000th point as a Knight. 2 evenings later, her teammate Christine Delapina joined that list in a bounce-back win over Bishop Amat. The much-needed win kept the Knights in the playoff hunt, and of course, congratulations are in order for the milestone 2 of their leaders just reached, joining a pretty elite list in school history. All right, we are going to go to one more break. Coming up, one more basketball team is making noise in Torrance. Somebody's going to end up on the wrong side of a conference buzzer beater. Is Elko going to come out on top? We'll see after the break.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, pet them, care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can bring them with you wherever you go. You can jump, yell, hide and go seek, play dress up, or not. Go for a walk, or not. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that. But you can adopt one. 'Cause we're connected. We're connected.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
Welcome back. Prep football may be in the rearview mirror, but the new year also brings a little bit of high school football action in the form of senior all-star games. For South Bay athletes, the go-to game this time of year is the West Torrance Lions Club game. 51 times the white and blue teams have lined up, and of those 51 games, this year saw the highest scoring performance from a single team. Torrance Tartar head coach Rock Hollis leads the white team to a blowout win over the blue squad, 44-8, the most points any one team has scored in the game's 51 years. His signal caller, Vince Huey, threw for 102 yards and a TD. His teammate, Tyree Harris, added a TD of his own, so it's a Torrance Tartar kind of evening as the white team rolls to a big all-star win. Now, back on the hardwood, while the prep squads have rankings and league standings to boast about, the JUCO level is all about getting that big conference win. For the Warriors lady basketball squad, the 2013-2014 season ended without much fanfare. They ran through the finish line with back-to-back wins, giving Elko a winning record, one game above 500, and finishing in third place. This season, barring a collapse for the ages, the Warriors should be celebrating more than just a winning record at the end of the regular season. In the first 2 weeks of January, the Warriors won 5 in a row, including their first 4 conference games. Next up, a crossover game at home against LA Trade Tech. So let's head out to it. We're just going to go straight to the last minute of the game here. Letitia Brown with the layup, giving the Beavers their first lead of the night, 71-69. Next Beavers possession tied at 71. The mishandled pass is saved, but it goes back to the Warriors. So they're going to come the other way with their chance to retake the lead. But it's missed. The Beavers call timeout, and we are tied up at 71. Warriors on defense again, same score. Brown, one more time. She nails it and one. Beavers go crazy. Elko can't believe it. Beavers up by 2. So we're going to go to Brown at the line now. She makes the free throw. Warriors going to toss a Hail Mary off the inbound, but it's intercepted. LA Trade Tech wins by 3, scoring the game winner with 1.4 seconds to go. Sydney Chase scores 22 and has 8 rebounds in the last second loss to Trade Tech. The Warriors shoot 41% from the field and are 6 of 14 from 3. They turn it over 25 times and lose the rebound race by 10 when it's all said and done. But that crossover game doesn't count against the Warriors' league record, so they hold on to first place at 4-0 against South Coast Conference teams. They'll close out the season with 4 in a row against the SEC starting February 6th. All right, everybody, that's going to close the books on another week here on the Sports Desk. As always, we are available on Facebook if you want to take a peek at what's going on throughout the week and what games we are featuring. That's facebook.com/thesportsdesktv, or if you'd like to email the show, it's thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. Now, feel free to reach out via Twitter or Instagram when you don't see us at a game. You can send video or pics, anything sports related here in the South Bay. For the Sports Desk newest producer, that's at Collin Kushner. For yours truly, hey, it's Juan, and use the hashtag #TheSportsDesk. Have a good one, Torrance. We will catch you next week. All right, like I said, that wraps it up. See you next time.